Hey, what's up? I'm using a new microphone, so I hope you all can hear me. Um, I'm also not using a noise gate with it because I thought it was a little distracting. If you tuned into my episode where we did some Fire Emblem, that VOD's been deleted. What's up, Charlie? Uh, that VOD has been deleted because the audio was bad. The audio was just real bad. I tried doing this thing where, like, my voice would lower when, like, the computer detected my voice. It would lower the volume for the game, so that way I can keep the game volume high, and then it would go down when I talked, but it would go back up to normal. And all that did was to create some kind of crazy whiplash effect. It was a disaster. So if you were looking for that VOD does not exist anymore. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to we're just gonna go again. I didn't want to have like the first part of a multi-part series have like bad audio, so that's what I did. Weirdly, just got Charlie's comment in my stream chat. I don't know why the stream chat takes so long to get actual chatting going. So like if you guys are chatting, I might be a little delayed. But we're doing pages today. And I'm not coloring pages, drawing a page. I left it up to you, and that's what you guys chose. This is what's happening. Um, got a handful of votes here. 61% of you said let's draw some stuff, so let's draw some stuff. I am currently working on. I kind of started when like work slowed down due to COVID, right? So work slowed down due to COVID, and then I was like, well, I want to like do stuff, and I kept telling myself I want to get a zine on the table by the time I'm 40. Jokes on me, there's no more Comic Cons, but I mean there are Comic Cons, but I'm not going to a Comic Con until things are safe. At any rate, all that aside, I was like, I want to have, and you're gonna hear all the creaks in my chair because I got this new microphone. Apologies for that. I need chair upgrades now, I guess. But I was like, I want to get a thing on the desk ready to go. So I did. I wrote 3 scripts that were short. Um, let me just give me 1 second. I can show you the layouts that I've been doing for this. I gotta bring them up, and I don't want to accidentally show you guys something that you're not supposed to see. So let's find where that is. Okay. Yeah, so I did a bunch of layouts, and I'm realizing now that um, these are like a little bit flawed because things need to work. I was grouped them in sets of 4 because every sheet has 1, 2, and then on the back 3, 4. You know, you staple it together. One page is 4 pages basically. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me, but I don't know if it makes sense to you guys. Every sheet, you put two pages on each side of a sheet, and you do the same on the back. That's what I'm saying. So I was like, oh, it's got to be 4 pages, and then I was like, well, there's going to be a blank one in the first thing, and I don't know why I thought that, but that's what I did. But it threw everything off because then I was like, oh, this will be the double page spread, this will be the double page spread, and then this will be the double, and it's like I don't think it works that way. I don't know. There's flawed. I was like, I got it 80% of the way before the practicality of like me thinking about putting this together really clicked. So I think in the future I just got to do straight 4s like all the way across, not these 3s down here, um, which means that we're gonna be too short on this. So I'm gonna have to like put in some extra stuff. I did like a strip a while ago of like kind of a monster horror thing, and I might put one of those back there. Maybe some supplemental stuff. I read the comic Skyscrapers of the Midwest a while ago, and that book is basically a book that is all supplemental material. It's wild. There's a through line through it. There's a story in there, but there's so much supplemental material sprinkled along the way, and you kind of get to know these like weird characters within like advertisements that are fake in the book. Evan Dorkin does a lot of like fake ads in things. At any rate, maybe we'll do some of that for this when I actually put it all together. I got to about page 7, so we're here. I don't know why this is page 7 when it says 6 here. Oh, because I made one of these into 2 pages. So maybe it's fine. Maybe we're just 1 page blank. Broke these up a little. At any rate, I'm up to this as far as pencils go, and here is the page. I'm gonna try not to hit the mic. I wanted to get rid of the blue lines. The mic is a little close to the Cintiq, so we'll see how this plays out. I don't know how that's gonna be. Whatever. It'll work. So I laid this out a long while ago, and this panel in particular I didn't really like. I remember that. At this point in the story, this guy is confronting this other guy. He thinks that there's some kind of conspiracy theory happening where this guy is going to use basically he's like lured them into his house to like use them for spare parts in a crazy experiment. So this is like the lab, and this guy's like bursting in, and he's like, you know, you monster, I know what you're doing, blah blah blah. He's got tears in his eyes because his other friend has died, and it's horror, and I didn't like this panel at all. And then I did a thing where I was like, well, let's just... I feel like I wasn't getting good, dynamic, interesting shots. Like, this page is kind of like mostly penciled. And I was like, he's like running through the house, and he's kicking the door down, and I'm like kind of trying to do these shots that are a little dynamic, and I was really struggling with it. I think that kind of stuff is stuff that people normally struggle with comics when they're drawing. The static talking heads not so much, but like the dynamic movement is a little harder. And so I sat down and I read who's that artist? I wrote it down in my hand. Jack Kirby? I read some of his stuff. That guy, he's like an artist. Most people don't know who he is. We're gonna lock this and lock this. What is under here? Oh, this is just, you can see it a little better. What's happening? Is touch on? That was weird. At any rate, so I read all of Kamandi because I was like, Jack Kirby makes dynamic figures, and I think there's something to that. So I was like, let's just read all of Kamandi in between penciling pages, because that'll fix me, right? That'll fix it. And I don't know if it fixed it. We're going to find out right now. I have not drawn in a long, long time. So we're just going to jump in, and I'm going to start drawing. So I kind of wanted to like put a guy's like maybe put his fists up, like he's like ready to fight kind of thing. I also read all the Parker books, which I feel like also have like really uh, dynamic kind of stuff. The other thing is like I got two different mentalities with this now. In fact, you know what? The figure work on the bottom is kind of like uh, confusing me, so we're just gonna get rid of that. And we're just gonna try again. We're just gonna try again. Um, oh my god, I haven't drawn in so long. Uh, Apologies if I'm a little more quiet because this takes a little more focus. So, one of the things, as I'm putting this like giant fist right here, is that I've kind of realized that I beat myself up over like, are the details right? Like, is the figure believable? What does the anatomy look like? And I don't think I should do that so much. I think that when I get bogged down in that stuff, I stop having a good time. And I don't think it's like I don't think it's good. Like I think that that stuff stands in the way of me like just making a thing, you know? That if I like let go of some of that, where I'm like, "Oh, it's got to be perfect." He's got a bludgeoning tool, by the way. He's got like a candlestick that I'm gonna make look like a bludgeoning tool.
Yeah, it's called getting in your head too much.
Yeah, it is called getting in my head too much. Thank you, Shannon.
We all do it.
um, but yeah, it's like I keep thinking like, oh, it's gotta look perfect. It's gotta look, right. Everything has to look. The figure work has to be like dynamic and interesting. And the truth is, the main thing that it has to look is done. Like, I don't think that beyond done. I feel like it does not matter, um, and that if it isn't done, who cares what how perfect it is? Um, Maybe we should have the. I was thinking about putting the door off the hinges, maybe like tilting the camera, but we probably don't need to do that because this is going to be like a pretty big moment. We might move him a little bit so we can kind of get some room for the bubble, and so he's not so center. Just move him just like this. This is so. I'm like doing pencils. Like this is not so much pencils, but what am I saying? So the stuff you saw earlier. Let me just give me 1 second. Let me show you what I mean. Let me show you another page that's opening right now. So like this is kind of what I'm considering like quote unquote finished pencils. Um, because I fix a lot of stuff. Hey Baron. Von Losty. What's up, man? I assume you're the dude who just launched the Kickstarter, or it's not launched yet. It's like pre made, right? You're in my Discord a lot. Um, but yeah, this is kind of what I consider to be pencils, which are not like super tight pencils by any means, um, because I know that like if I do make super tight pencils, I lose interest by the time I get to inks, and I don't want that to happen. So we are going to like get the pencils as tight as we can, as tight as I want them, which are still going to be kind of, it's kind of like a half step between like the layouts and then the uh, inks. Like rather than going all the way to pencils, it's like layouts 2.5. Um, and I also was thinking about this figure here. How you doing, man? I was thinking about this figure here. I was like, let's loom him large in the panel. Like we can. This is some of the stuff that like that I was thinking about, where I like get in my own head too much, and like you know this guy is sitting at this desk, standing. He's about this tall. How tall do we make the guy in the foreground if like they are the same height relative? And it's like, well, horizon line's down here, so things are kind of slanted this way, like kind of like one point perspective. So I was like, he's going to be a little taller, but he's not going to be that much taller because I don't want it to like distort or anything or make him seem like a giant. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck that. like, like let's make him a giant. Let's make him like loom large. He's like kick the door down, burst in the room. Like let's get absolutely buck wild with it, you know? Uh I've been reading lately a lot of like Catwoman. Man, I don't even. Maybe we should just draw a whole new figure. I think we might do that. Uh, I've been reading a lot of Catwoman lately, and a lot of Darwin Cook in particular, but also like Joel Jones and stuff. And I just started reading her newer Catwoman series that I don't know if it's still going. I don't know. I got the first 3 trades, and I'm like realizing more and more that like this kind of like let's make sure that everything works in the room is like fine, but like wouldn't it be cool if like dude was like giant and pissed, like shouldn't the scene echo the feeling of in the room. So let's see if we can do that. It's kind of like rib cage, butt, head, neck, ear. We can even like elbow here. Like we do have to be aware of framing this figure hmm framing this guy well enough in the scene. And also I want to you want to see the lab equipment. Doesn't have to be too bound by the rules. Yeah, like I noticed that like whenever I'm drawing a page versus when I'm coloring, I'm like no rules. Like who cares? As long as it's engaging. And when I'm drawing, I'm like, oh, everything's got to look good. Everything's got to be perfect. And man, I just gotta like get rid of that mentality. Like it's just gotta have a nice juicy butt. That's what it's got to have. A nice juicy butt. And then we're all good, right? Let's figure out where we want. Hold on. Your phone's killing me. You guys might have got a Priceline ad in the background right then. Uh, Maybe move him over just a little bit. Maybe we gotta move this background as well. Um, it's kind of like scrunching his arms together, like kind of like this. Like kind of like Wolverine style. He's what is it? Like put the figure here, head down like this, arms down, and then out, and then like that. This is the clumsiest Wolverine, but he's kind of doing one of these. How do we show that? Let's back it up. I'm already like, let's start over. Let's just start this whole page over. We could just roll with the figure that huge side profile silhouette go extra. Yeah, I was thinking about he's gonna be mostly in silhouette when I finally get it going, but let me think for just a second, because now I'm thinking about like, okay, if we're gonna dwarf him, like maybe we should make the layout a little different. Like maybe I need to move him as well. Like maybe the whole drawing, excuse me, the whole drawing needs to shift. Copy. Oh god, I did the thing. I hit the mic. I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. Like maybe we need to move him down and over like this. This is a very complicated thing because we're putting layers on top of layers as far as this goes. Because I was thinking like if we could get like his fist over here, you know, and then like have him like looming over him, elbow here. Head here, like this. Yeah, now we're cooking. Like something like this. And then we don't even have to, we know who the character is coming in. We don't have to see his head. He's a little right now, but maybe we should hunch him over a little more. Just like curve it. Something like this. I think that works, right? Let's the layers are becoming a little insane. We can kind of manage this. One of the things that I realized in making this goal for myself to put together a zine for the table is that, and this one's like what, 18 pages ish. Um, one of the things that I realized is that uh, drawing takes a while. For all you pros out there, let me tell you, drawing takes a while, and that if I ever am going to like tell the stories that I want to tell, I should probably dedicate a good amount of time to writing rather than just drawing, because there's there's no way I can, like, time wise I can like do the stuff I want to do. This doesn't work. Thumb out. I'm trying to draw. This is like, I don't think I've ever looked at a hand in this direction, but it's fine. It's just got to get done. I think we did all right, right? Um, yeah, I feel like I don't have the time to do everything that I want to do, and because of that, I either need to draw more quickly, like give myself some more slack to maybe, like on a page that's just talking heads, like cut myself some slack and be like, it doesn't have to be the most dynamic thing ever. Like it can just be what it is, you know. Get it done quickly. Get to like the good stuff in the page. Um, and I think that I should cut myself some more slack for that. Like I should recognize that, like, that's okay, you know, um, and get some more work done more quickly. The other thing is that I should probably write some stuff. I should probably dedicate some time to like just trying to get pitches made. Here's the thing too, is like I do not know how to get a pitch. Like, unless it is accompanied with, like, I'm making this and I'm doing it from scratch, right? So this thing is going to be from scratch. Um, putting jeans on this butt, putting them good butt jeans. Um, like this thing is like from scratch, and at the end of the day, I did everything on it. I'm like, once it's finished, I've done all the work, you know, and uh, I can just put it on the table, and I'm just like done. It's finished. It's done. When it comes to like making a thing that I wrote, it's weird that this is not grayscale, by the way. It's just real quick. Don't merge. Um, and when it comes to like putting together a pitch, or like putting together work with an artist, and like even just finding an artist, I'm like, I don't know how to do that necessarily. I don't necessarily know what to offer them, and like I certainly want everybody to get paid. Like, you know, I don't want to take advantage of anybody. So I don't know. It's when it comes to that stuff, I'm like, it would be nice to get something going, but at the same time, I also feel like it's such a minefield. I mean, maybe that's normal though. Maybe everybody feels that way. This arm looks weird because I started fucking with it. Let's just leave it. Less is more. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be thinking about it. Maybe I should give myself room to fail. Instead of being like, this anatomy has to be perfect. This is just what I was talking about. Now I'm in the weeds. Now I'm like, we should do 6 drawings of this. I should pose in the mirror. I should take a picture. We should shoot some reference. Let's just, for now, let's leave it alone. So this guy in the chair, right? He is semi-obscured throughout the comic. So we want to make sure that he is still semi-obscured throughout this situation. I was thinking about like putting a screen behind him like this, like what I'm drawing right now, and that way we can kind of like really just black out his silhouette, you know? Although that might start competing with like this, but maybe it'll make you go point to point. I don't know. Man, I'm still like this is in my head. This right here. The arm right up there. I don't know. I'm looking kind of like, man, I kind of want to do something with his hand. Maybe something like that. We'll zoom in eventually. Where he's kind of like, what's happening kind of thing. Because he's caught off guard at this point. He doesn't know why this guy's in this like situation. By the way, if you're like, oh, Nick, I wish you were doing some coloring, I'd love to. Please vote in the poll next time. Put a poll on my Twitter. And this is what was chosen. So you're watching amateur drawings from a whole absolute amateur. Never drawn a comic before. That's actually true. Never drawn I've drawn a lot of pages over the years. Never drawn like a finished, like, here is a comic book for me to put in your hands that I drew kind of thing. Always had time to do some color work for other people. Never had time to do my own thing. We're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. He's sitting at like a desk. And we're cheating a lot of the perspective in this shot. because basically perspective is for cowards. Um, Most comic artists who use perspective are cowards, and I'm not. So I'm not gonna bog us down in like a bunch of silly little lines all over the place. Ugh. You fancy? I got it. Like, come on. We're gonna put stuff on his desk, and we need to make this needs to look like weird tech. Uh, but you can actually. Here's the thing. So like, I'm making a joke. I actually really like doing perspective stuff. I was thinking we should do a stream sometime that is that is just me working on some perspective stuff. I really like drawing um, streets and buildings and stuff, and I noticed that a lot of people, especially like, um, we're gonna redo that hand. Especially like people in this. Oh God, I almost made me sound like a very old man, but the youth today, um, I feel like a lot of people struggle with like finding joy in drawing like cool perspective of like a city block, and like people don't really practice that a lot. Whereas like I kind of like doing that stuff better than I like doing figure work. And I like doing exercises where we kind of like one of the things that I enjoy uh, is taking a shot of like a city block and using it as reference and changing the points of perspective. Like if it's a if it's a 1 point perspective city street, like I'll take it and be like, okay, let's do a 2 point, same street, do 2 point perspective. And I find that that exercise gets me thinking a lot about the perspective, and like I'm like, all right, let's lower the horizon line and then uh, do 2 point or 3 point. I feel like that's like a really interesting way to just get into the like to start enjoying perspective, because like I feel like a lot of people don't like it because they feel like they start drawing a building and it like doesn't look good, and they're trying to do it from their imagination. And like I was definitely that way, like little ticky tacky boxes like all over the place. Like my cityscapes looked like just a bunch of tic tacs scattered with like the typical like comic book crossword on the side. um, and I feel like let's think about this dude's hand first. And I feel like a lot of people are doing that kind of stuff, or like struggling with um, that kind of drawing. And you don't have to. Like you can just, if you got like an important street shot, use the reference, man. You go to cons, you're in cities, take some pictures. I'm gonna add some like test tubes. And like I said, we're incredibly loose with this. Maybe we need to... kind of do like a test tube thing over here. Maybe a larger beaker. Right here. I'm putting in shadows, but like, I don't know where the shadows are right now. Like, I know that we're silhouetting him with the computer monitor. We should probably go darker around here. Let's play with that idea. Let's get in with the shadows. When in doubt, silhouette it out. That's the real trick. That's the one thing professional artists don't want you to know. So think about what the heck did we draw back here? So we have a desk, we have like kind of a waste paper basket here. There's like coilovers, like kind of coil lightning stuff. We can put the waste paper basket over here. This page in particular is supposed to feel a little cluttered. It's kind of a page that I want the viewer to stop on in their journey. So let's do some crumpled up paper while reading this. So I wanted to pack it densely with information. Put some waste paper up here. Okay, what are we gonna put on the other side of the desk here? Well, we can work on. So I wanted to put like a window across behind the monitor because I wanted to put some in the building. It's supposed to kind of look like a mad scientist like layer kind of thing. Now I'm like, where do we put this line? Because I don't want it to look like he's holding it. Maybe put it here. That doesn't leave a whole lot of room though. I'm gonna zoom out just a bit. Think about this. Where do we want this? Like here, maybe? This is going to be very dense, so maybe we should just roll with it. I'm worried about like how it's interacting with the foreground, but I think that it'll turn out fine. We're gonna put like a high voltage box up here. So I was going to put some like high voltage lines. Let's work smarter, not harder, right? Let's take white, stroke, size 10 pixels. How's this gonna look? Maybe a little wider. $18, sure, whatever. I'm sure that by the time I get to the ink stage, the line thickness is going to change probably. Do like a third line. We could cut it over. Ooh, we could put it like, run it here, through here, like that. Underneath the other lines. Let's run cables this way, because I do want to have this, like, what I'm trying to do is there's like a square here, square here, square here. So we're trying to like zoom you in, you know. I don't know what that. Get it out of here. So we can kind of do like power box stuff, running power lines. You guys get to hear my chair with this new microphone. How's it working for you? We can kind of like black some of this stuff out. Oh, let's blend it. Let's merge it. Let me see if I can do this without oh, that did not work. I was wondering if I could do it without looking at the keyboard. There we go. Put this into a box down here, and we can do like a bracket here, do like another bracket here, maybe even like put some coiling through the thing, bolt it in. The thing that I'm trying to keep in mind too is a lot of this stuff, it's like it's decoration to what you're normally going to be looking at, you know, like, you know, this. We're gonna put a balloon. I don't know where we're gonna put the balloon. Like here, maybe here, for him. And then like, really, you're gonna be looking at the silhouette, and you're gonna be here, because of the way that I'm gonna kind of shade it. So a lot of this stuff that I'm like kind of gesturing in up here, this stuff does not matter. Like it matters. You know, we don't want to like do it poorly, but it doesn't matter in the sense of, well, it doesn't matter. Because we're going to be able to control and manipulate like where the people are looking, kind of thing. That's basically what I do as a colorist all day long. So I know no one's going to be here. like in this corner where I'm running this cable. Like, we just run a couple of cables. We can be like, put another box here. Like, this does not matter. This is we're just, that's lipstick on a pig. Is that a thing? That's a thing, right? Yeah, we don't need to worry about that. What we need to worry about is like this area and this area right here. Like everything else, it's very deceptive because it's like, because we're kind of like framing everything here in this area, it's deceptive because that means that the stuff outside of that area in this panel, we don't need to draw well. Like draw it well, but don't kill yourself is what I'm saying. Okay, so this is going to be a window, but we will let's put like one of those old-fashioned kind of like levers in. It's kind of like the box and the terminals up here and the terminals down here. Maybe even like some sparks off of this thing. We can that's gonna be fun to ink. Maybe draw trying to think of like, mad scientist room. So let's draw the here's the big chrome Tesla coil. It's attached to the lightning. This guy in the story, the lightning that he's playing with, the scientist here, it strands the two other characters at his house basically because he like knocked out the power to the to their car and their phones, basically like an EMP. Oh god, this is let's just and because of that they're like stuck there, let's figure out how to do this coil. And they're very like nervous about like whatever it is that he is doing. They don't trust it. Ooh, this coil is not looking great. Let's start kind of blackening it out a little bit. Let's think about this a little bit more. This is why we pencil. So this character that like bursts in thinks he's like catching the guy in the act, but the guy is extremely innocent. So it's like a kind of a misleading scene. Like he's just doing his science stuff, and these characters are maniacs to him for no reason. A lot of this stuff is a reflection of the current climate in our society of everyone decides to be maniacs all the time now for no reason. I really wish that people would cut that shit out because it scares the hell out of me, which is why I made this. In fact, this guy bursts in, right? He bursts in this panel. He's he's like, I know what the fuck this is. I've been on the internet, you know? And I feel like that's where we are as a society. I know what this is. I've been on the internet. But I'm excited to get this thing together. It's been a long, long time of me like, I did, like I said in the beginning, I did 3 scripts, and this is one of them, short scripts. And I'm like, oh, I'll have time to just bang all this stuff out. And lo and behold, no one has time for anything, actually. I think that panel is like mostly done. We're gonna have to. I kind of want to like figure out maybe a little shadow stuff, shadows for when I ink it. Like, I don't know, something like this. Put the shadow over here too. Um, Back here. I don't know. I'm being real fast and loose with this because, like I said, I want to keep it a little bit unplanned for when I start inking it, so that it like holds my interest. Um, you thought this was a Fire Emblem stream now? Yeah. About that, that Fire Emblem stream audio is jacked up. I'm using a new microphone, Eric, and I hope that it sounds better because I'm going to use it for the Fire Emblem stream. We're going to restream the first part of Fire Emblem all over again because I don't want to make that a VOD, the first of like 40 VODs of Fire Emblem, because I want people to actually watch and enjoy it. Um, this is a little confusing as to what's going on here. I'm wondering if we should clean it up, or if like a brilliant person is if I should clean it up now, or just say heck with it, ink it, and then be like, oh, this is really confusing, heck with it, and then when I get into grayscale in Photoshop, I'll fix it. We'll fix it in post is what I'm saying. Like, what if we fix it in post? That'll be fine, right? That certainly won't come to bite us in the butt. Alright, I have to remember what this character looks like. How is everyone doing? Do you guys reading anything good? Some comics that I want to read but haven't read yet because I'm digging into Catwoman. Just let the colorist deal with it. Exactly. The thing is, you joke, but I will full on like I'm a medium penciler, medium inker, and I am a fucking professional colorist. So I will full on lean into that. And I'm sorry, not sorry. I have to Department of Truth. Man. That's who wrote that? Who wrote Department of Truth? I've been hearing good things about that as well. Is that Shoot. What is it? Tyrion? I can't remember. It's this guy that's down there. So we gotta figure out what the heck he looks like. That's what he looks like. He all PO'd. I've been wanting to read Silver Coin and James. Yeah. Yeah, it looked good. I like all his stuff, man. He writes the hell out of some stuff. Okay, so he's kind of like triangle faced, hair slicked back, a little unkempt. I think it's this guy. Yeah. Okay. He won Best Writer, so it makes sense. Well, nothing makes sense about the Eisters, to be completely honest. It's yeah. I've rented and raved before, but you know, some series do win, and then the writer will win, and then the artist will win, and sometimes it doesn't. It's just like the art is what makes that book. Ah, okay. Um, I I've been wanting to read Silver Coin and The Good Asian as well. Both those books look real good. Um, Trying to. But I've been reading Catwoman. I thought that I was going to do a stream where we were going to play Good Asian's pretty good. Man, I want to read it. It's the trade's coming out soon. Uh, Sorry, I'm just kind of focused. Because this guy's got to be kind of pointed. And then he's got kind of like a few like strands of unkept hair. Maybe he's like a little worse for wear at this point. Um, Probably be better read as a trade. Got impatient. Nice. Of course, it comes out after the single issues. Yeah. Once you've already committed, once you've already gotten patient. I like good crime books, man. I don't think I could ever write a crime book, but I enjoy them very much. Um, it's kind of like slicked back hair. How do we draw that? Um, I think that crime books are tough to write well to make them feel like authentic. I'm putting the ears a little high because I'm trying to get it to look like he's like kind of like tilted down. I don't think I need an ear on this side actually. He's like kind of tilted down. Um, let's figure out the hair. If you had to read more web comics than print uh, for your job, to be honest, yeah. I've been, like I said, I've been reading a lot of Catwoman. For a while I was toying with the idea of like I was thinking about doing there's a Catwoman GameCube game that's probably pretty awful. I gotta look at this guy's hair again. Oh, it kind of like pompadours, huh? Um, and I was like, we should play the Catwoman movie game, and then I should recommend like Catwoman stuff, like while we're playing, like talk about the real deal Catwoman stuff. Um, and then we just started Fire Emblem instead, but I still read the Catwoman stuff. No regrets. It was very good. Uh, Darwin Cook, hell of an artist, hell of an artist. Trying to get him good and hunched over. Man, fists are weird looking. This is wrong. You've been reading current Catwoman? So I read. I guess we're not going to play Catwoman. So since we're playing Fire Emblem, so I guess we could chat about it. I read Catwoman When in Rome, the Tim Sale book from a while back, and then I read. What else did I read? I read uh, the 2008 Brubaker books, the three of them. The third volume is kind of rough art, so I didn't finish it. Um, we need to fix this. Hold on. Uh, there are Catwomen in Fire Emblem. All right. Um, and then I read which the first two volumes of that have Darwin Cook in it, and unfortunately has some Cameron Stewart, which I didn't realize, and I didn't realize how much he was like all over that book. I probably wouldn't have bought it otherwise if I had known that he was like all over that book, because he's a noted creep. Uh, but whatever. Uh, and then what's that other artist's name? He did like an arc in it. Shoot, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now. Uh, I'm gonna pronounce the name wrong. I guarantee I'm gonna pronounce the name wrong. We were talking about it in the Discord. I'm checking the Discord. Um, Shoot, where did I talk about him? Oh, Javier Polito did an arc in there that absolutely blew me away. And speaking of like, smarter not harder, like look at this stuff. Look at this stuff. It's so good. And it's like it's straightforward. It gets the point across. Catwoman's creeping on it. I mean, the colors. Hollingsworth is like really helping out here too. But like, it's just solid. It's just solid, and it doesn't. It's not anything it doesn't need to be. Um, and he does a lot of stuff. There's like, really, really, yeah. Like he's so good. Like, there's a lot of like really interesting. Like these two are cut in such a way where these panel one and panel two, you show footsteps, you show her running, and it's cropped in a way that makes it feel frantic. Like you could tell she's moving from this, and this is something that like I was talking about earlier, where I have trouble with dynamic stuff, and I would never think to solve it this way. Uh, and then she lands here, right? And it's like her whole body points at like the medical thing, so you know that she's at what's the woman? I forgot her name, but the doctor who like helps her, right? And then she's creeping in the window here, and she's creeping in the window down here. So it's like the same, like mirrored. It flips 180, but like we keep Catwoman on the same side, and then like she's looking here, right? So then in these two panels, which are like broken up, you see like her vision, and then it's like this character's in the center of the panel, so that means that like she is the full focus. So Catwoman, you can tell that Catwoman's really creeping on this person, eavesdropping on the conversation, and then she's like ready to leave, and it's like this echoes. It's so good. Yeah, Leslie Tompkins. Yeah, he's so good. I can't say enough good things. I want to check out everything else he's done. I don't think I've read a whole lot of stuff by him before. I want to change that. It was such a treat to like find that in the middle of the run. Anyway, so yeah, I really enjoyed that. Um, I kind of keep like not really sure how this candlestick is supposed to look. I kind of designed it to look more kind of mace like. Maybe like a jewel here, a jewel here. Maybe kind of add like a little bit of a curve to it. Um, but yeah, I just all of the ways that he like solves a page, I think, are just incredibly interesting and engaging, and it's tough to like. It's just he just thinks in such an interesting way. Makes me want to read everything. Um, okay, let's just draw a fist over here, and then we'll just put it over here. I feel like the way that it's cropping out is kind of like screwing me up. Um, but yeah, so I read that stuff, really enjoyed it. We do not need to take all of this white with us. and I want to blow this fist up so it looks like he's like real in our faces. Where are my transformation controls? Not showing up. Yeah, so I read all that. Like I said, when in Rome, I read that, and I have started the Joel Jones stuff. I read some of Joel Jones's run when it originally came out, but that was a while ago, and I was like, oh, I gotta get reacquainted. I remember it being, from what I read, very good. So I'm very much looking forward to rereading it and reading all of it. Uh, yeah, I was having a conversation with Brent Schoonover about how it was so good, and for reading all this amazing Catwoman. Your conclusion was to stream Catwoman movie tie-in game. Well, let's. I have a theory. Okay, here's my theory with old video games. Um, everybody's played Fire Emblem. People who love Fire Emblem know Fire Emblem. Uh, it's not a mystery. There's nothing to mine there. It's a very well-known game. But people have not revisited Catwoman the movie tie-in game. It could be good, Like it could be. It could be. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that if there is a hidden game, it's going to be something that nobody's played before, So that was my mentality with like Catwoman the movie tie-in game. And I was like, we should play some of the weird stuff. And then I was also thinking about playing the Aquaman game, which I hear is also pretty awful. But then I was like, we could talk about Aquaman, But then I was like, why don't we just talk about Aquaman? I don't know. Also, a side note, I don't know that I've ever read any Aquaman that I've really loved, to be completely honest. But I haven't read a whole lot of Aquaman, so yeah. Yeah, but we don't want to play the good games, Eric. we want to play the weird games, the games off the beaten path. I want to try out that weird stuff. I think this page is penciled. I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like the figure down here is really neat and interesting. Kind of loose with it. Haven't drawn anything in months, so this was a real experiment. But I think this turned out better than than it was originally. Like, especially the top panel. Like, we changed so much. Like, this feels so empty, and this feels like just not great. I forgot that he was supposed to be crying. We can make him cry. I haven't played the Batman Telltale games, though. I've played most of the other Telltale works, but I haven't played those. The Walking Dead ones and the Wolf Among Us game in particular is real good. Apparently Peter David and Kelly Sue DeConnick runs are good, but you haven't read them. Oh, the Aquaman? I would believe it. I forgot Kelly Sue wrote some. She's fantastic. Yeah, I bet her run is really good. Man, should I read Aquaman? Shit. Now I'm like, oh no, we gotta read Aquaman. The Fables one's the best of them all? Yeah. I don't know, man. Walking Dead ones were good too. Clementine was more likable than any other Walking Dead character, which was interesting. So that is that page down. Um, we're gonna do more pages eventually. I don't know if we're gonna do them all on stream, but once these get penciled, like this is considered pencils for me. Like I said, I try to keep myself engaged, so I don't want to make it too tight. We're gonna start inking at some point, and when we ink, we're gonna ink right behind me, the camera shot down, so it's gonna be kind of interesting. And I'm again not a professional inker, but I will ink. This is the thing. Who's gonna stop me? You? Not gonna stop me. Can't stop me. I don't know why I would invite that challenge, but yeah. Sub Diego. Oh my god. I take it back. I have read some Aquaman. When I was working in Xylanol Studios in Savannah with Lee Lowridge, when I was like learning to color, we were on the list for DC, so we got like basically every DC floppy that came out week after week. Like we got a package of like all of them, just one of everything. And so there was just this table with like comics on it, and I started reading Aquaman because it was just there. I started reading Aquaman and the Flash, and that was the time. At the time, Aquaman had just lost his hand, and he was getting his magical water hand, and I was like, kind of like, this actually kind of rules. I don't know if Aquaman fandom enjoyed that run, but I enjoyed that run. That was a lot of fun. I mean, I wasn't paying for it, so maybe that factored into that process. But I will say that I did enjoy it. It was a good time. So I guess I have read some Aquaman. At any rate, we're going to call it for today. We're going to pencil some more pages. That's at another point. If you would like to see more pages, you can follow me on Twitter. And before I go live with this stream, I usually put up a poll and I'll be like, hey, what are we doing? Are we drawing or are we coloring? And if you want to see coloring, obviously vote for that. If you want to see drawing, obviously vote for that. If you don't care, don't vote at all. Or I don't know what to tell you. Don't show up. But please show up. We're going to be doing Spookums games. What is the game we're playing tomorrow? I'm playing a game tomorrow with Boix and Ilion. We are playing Phasmagoria, I believe is what it's called. We're going to be ghost hunters. It's going to be real silly. You're not going to want to miss that. We're playing that tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. I've never played a horror game, I don't think. I was thinking about this today. I was like, I don't think I've ever played a horror game. So, yeah, it's going to be real fun. And I wonder if I'm going to get spooked. Who knows? Where's the Fire Emblem voting option? There'll be more Fire Emblem. So, and we're going to play Fire Emblem on Sundays. Fire Emblem's going to be a regular Sunday thing until we finish it. And then when we finish it, we're going to do Fire Emblem 10, the Radiant Dawn. And that's going to be, we're going to do Fire Emblem Sundays basically from here to the end of the year, probably, because those games are long. So yeah, don't worry about that. Fire Emblem Sundays. I'm not sure what we're going to play after Fire Emblem. Maybe more Fire Emblem? Who knows? Maybe it's a staple of the stream. We're a Fire Emblem stream now. We're going to start firing up the GBA, my GBA player over there. We're going to start getting into the fan-translated GBA games. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for hanging out. If you like what you see, hit the follow button, blah, blah, blah. You know how to do this. I'll see you on the next one. Look at this overlay. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I gotta show it. Speaking of overlay, I made an overlay for comics, but I think that it's visual violence. Real quick. Where do you guys come down on this? Is this good? Are we good? Are we good? Can you see this? I think I think this one needs to be reworked. I don't know if this is good. I really enjoy it, but it's visually it's a lot. Days of Future Knicks, yeah, exactly. Oh my god, this stream is a disaster. We gotta delete this one too now. Shit. All right, thanks you all for showing up. We're playing games tomorrow and on Sunday, and we'll do more art next week. Thanks for hanging out.